The word bistro comes from the Russian. It means quick. And when the Russian troops came and helped Napoleon in the 1700s, they were walking through the streets of Paris, and some of the soldiers would break ranks, go into those little cafes and say bistro, bistro, to have a quick bite to eat and a quick drink. This is where the origin of bistro is. Nowadays, a bistro is a concept in my books. It means that it's very congenial, very friendly, and unintimidating. And it draws people from all layers of society. And it took me a lot of years to reach this point, because when I first opened, people would come in with a suit and a tie and so forth. So now we have plumbers, carpenters, and lawyers and everything else.
It seems like Dominique really understands what a bistro is all about. Tell us why you like it so much.
Well, it's the whole picture. You drive up to a strip mall in beautiful downtown Lake Zurich. It's the equivalent to me of walking into an ice cream parlor. Everybody is happy. Everybody has got a smile on their face. This party-like atmosphere, it just elevates your spirit, just makes you feel great.
This was a different kind of party, though. It just seemed like the place to go to hang out with your friends, to kind of wind down the weekend or prepare for the following week. Dominique has a great personality. I had called because I didn't know if there was a dress code, and I was very casually dressed that day. So when I called, I said, do you have a dress code, particular clothing, whatever? And he said, please wear clothes. And I said, I'm sorry. And he said, well, just please wear some. And I said, okay, I think I can accommodate you there.
Now, Dominique was actually, he's from France. He went to culinary school in France. And it seems like he takes the whole bistro restaurant type very seriously. And it's reflected in his menu. It's very traditional. And it's interesting because once a month they actually feature a special dish, whether it's bouillabaisse or a special French dish, where the whole month it's that special bistro-style dish.
It's interesting you bring that point up because while I'm rather traditional and not experimental, there are things on the menu that people who I've gone to dinner with really enjoy. But for the people who have that desire for something a little bit off the main course, they can find it on his menu.
I chose to experiment that night because I saw those neat things that I normally don't see in restaurants I go to. And I was torn between the ostrich and the venison, so I went with the venison. And but we also had, there's some tuna tartare we had in salmon wraps. There's just stuff that I wouldn't normally get.
Right. And then what did you try when you ate there?
I had the mussels in a saffron and white wine sauce for an appetizer, which was part of their tasting menu. And it was amazing. It was such a good value, and the food was very well prepared. It was beautiful.
Well, the funny thing, too, about this restaurant, like La Scarola, is that the chef is not French. Dominique is the owner and proprietor, but their chef partner is Japanese. So a lot of the influence that you can see on the menu sometimes is pretty interesting. They'll have very
So that's
typical...
the D&J, Dominique and Japanese guy.
The J... The J is actually for his wife, Jacqueline, but it's Dominique and Jacqueline. Okay. But they have specific bistro dishes like escargot, and they'll do bouillabaisse and other dishes, but then they'll have sushi, or they'll have different Asian flavors on the menu, so they kind of mix it up.
And you mentioned the taster menu, or the pre-fee menu that they had, which was a great value, which I don't know if they do that every night or not, but it was a list of, you can choose one entree, one salad, one appetizer,
they do that every night. That's something
for a fixed price, and it's
such a deal.
And that is such, I think, for $26 to get a 3-course meal, you have several choices even, is pretty amazing.
Yeah.
It was such a good deal. And I was surprised by the choices because I kept looking back and forth between the menus going, all right, on this menu, you're going to get the not so great stuff, and on the regular menu is going to be the amazing stuff. And it wasn't like that at all. I was so surprised. And the price was so inexpensive. I kind of looked at our server and I said, are you sure that's the right price? And I'm like, man, I'm going to get hit when I get the bill. I know it's going to be wrong.
What does it mean when the wait staff, you've seen the same wait staff for 3-4 years? I mean, that I've been looking. Does that mean something? Does that say something about the restaurant?
That's a good thing.
I think tremendously means something. A lot of the restaurants that we do talk about on the show, really do have staff that have been with them for such a long time. And I think that says so much about the restaurant.
But is it more indicative of the clientele, or is it more indicative about the owner?
I think it's both. I think it's a good combination of actually both things.
Because a good waiter doesn't stay if he's not making money. And he's not
Right.
making money if the customers aren't happy and coming back.
Exactly.
And you want your server to have been there a while, so they knew, my server knew the
Right.
good and the bad on the menu and what was popular, what was very, very good that night. And
What was more filling, what was less
Right.
filling, what was lighter, or what if you were, yeah.
Yeah, so I think it does say a lot, when you have someone with you for a long time.
Well, he certainly does. The majority, I mean, everybody looks familiar to me now.
Great. Well, this is your favorite place, so can wrap it up for us, Larry.
In summary, aside from the excellent food, the atmosphere is a party-like atmosphere, and it just elevates your spirit. And for that reason, I would tell anybody to go back there, irrespective of the distance they have to drive to get there.
And Eileen, for you?
even though it was a very far drive, it was so worth it. And I've even told people in the past couple of days after I had gone, some friends of mine that live up in the northwest suburbs, I said, you got to try this place. And they both looked at me and said, everybody knows about that place if you live in the northwest suburbs. So
Great. And for you, Glenn?
Great food, great taste, and a great chance to experiment with some new things, I think.
Well, you can try the Bistro Fare at D&J Bistro at 466 South Rand Road in Lake Zurich. And their number is 847-438-8001. They're open Tuesday through Friday for lunch and dinner, and Saturday and Sunday for dinners only. They're closed on Mondays. Reservations are accepted, and the average tab without the drinks is about $26 a person.